We talk about it now because it's December.
Christmas. And guess what today's topic for our podcast is going to be?
Christmas?
No. Modern, traditional, or the middle way. Which way do you hang? So the argument that we go flip-flop, hippity hop, and they're all muzzle loaders because yes, they all load through the muzzle. Do they have ones that load through? They can't. They can't load through the breech.
Yeah, they do. I think somehow they have a breech loader where it's like a single shot, and then you put in your powder and round and close it. And
so ultimately, what we're doing with muzzleloader season is we are removing the casing. But then they find gray areas. There's always a gray area. You know, it's like, oh, well, you know, I would ultimately think, okay, so maybe, you know, I was thinking about that today. So is that what the muzzle, I mean, I understand that they wanted a muzzleloader season for the traditional guys. We talked about this yesterday on the way out of the woods. The traditional guys that want to get as close to period as possible for hunting. So you can't go and traditional muzzleloader hunt during the rifle season because you got to be hunter orange. There's 9 billion people out there. Blah 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 blah. I'm thinking that they had a big enough organization for the reenactors that wanted to hunt with a muzzleloader. They gave them the season to hunt with the muzzleloader. Well, back then it was, you know, all you were buying for a muzzleloader back then was a muzzleloader, a traditional. You know, powder, patch, ball, cap, flintlock, matchlock. You know, whatever the case may be. You know, I don't know. It's tough because you can now buy a modern muzzleloader that'll shoot better than your shotgun. So what's the point of? I mean, downstate, I think you can use whatever you want downstate. You can keep hunting, but I don't know. It might be doe only or something. So I don't know.
Crazy.
So what are your thoughts there, Gray Bear?
So I'll say that Nomad Outdoors TV thinks that as long as you use what is legal in the state of Michigan, knock yourself out. There you go. That's what Nomad Outdoors TV says. Yeah, that's talking like an attorney or a politician who don't know shit about hunting. So, thanks. I don't give a shit what anybody shoots. As long as the state of Michigan says it's fine, then knock yourself out. It won't be long. You know my feelings. It won't be long now, the way that they're going with doe permits, where you can just dig a pit trap and let the deer run into punji stakes and then go pick them out of the pit at the end of the day. You know, you'll be able to lob mortar rounds out into the middle of the herd soon. So, but yeah, I don't care. You want to use the biggest rifle they make? Whatever you want to use, you want to use a 500? Use a 500. I don't give a shit. Whatever. May not be much deer left, but knock yourself out. You want to use a bow that you made yourself and arrows that you made yourself, and you got the sinew from a deer and made your own string and you did all that? God bless. More power to you. I won't, because I don't know how to make a bow or get sinew from a deer. So
you don't
I'd have to have a deer to do that.
You got a point there.
I think, but I think what we get, what we've seen, is that the archery season was intended for people with a bow and arrow, where you pull the bow back and let the arrow go. Was meant to be 3 months long, and then come up with new ways to do it. The traditional season was meant to be, you know, when they first signed the legislation, this is the way it was meant to be. Nobody saw down the road that these were the things that was going to happen. But it's like you're putting, and it's all about money. So, you know, if at the end of the day, what do you care about? Do you care about going out in the woods and shooting what you want to shoot, and it makes you happy, or do you care, like, because the state of Michigan really only gives a shit about getting as much money in its coffers as it can? And that's the reality. They don't care. I don't think they give two wits. You think the governor, the senators, that they're all up there? Oh, my big concern is Michigan sportsmen. Not only as it relates to a vote. That's it.
That's the part that's frustrating for me, is that if you're going to say you can do this and you can't do that, and then you come back the next year and go, well, yeah, now you can do that now, and you can't do this anymore, but you can do that, and it just, it's tough. If you don't sit down with that guidebook and read it word for word every year when it comes out, you're going to get dinged. There's some change that has happened that you're not going to know about, because it's long, it's not easy to find things. I was trying to find yesterday, can I shoot a deer with my Glock 40 caliber? And now we start to get into, okay, well now let's find out where the line is, because technically it's bigger than a 35 caliber, so I can shoot a deer with a handgun bigger than a 35 millimeter. But then we have to cross-reference back to go to how many rounds can be held in the gun. Now, do they have a part in there that says how many rounds can be held in the gun if you're using a handgun? No, you know what they talk about? They talk about the handgun, and then they talk about how you can carry it, if you got a concealed pistols license, how to carry it in your truck, but they don't tell you what is legal. And maybe it's in there. Please comment and let me know down below. Can you use a 40 caliber Glock?
It's because, can you take a 30 round magazine in your AR out into the woods to shoot deer with?
No, see, there you go.
See what I'm saying? There is a round limitation that you can have in the gun. I know it. I know for a fact there's a round. I just don't know what it is. Just because I don't know what it is doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I know it's there.
I would like to know what it is, because I was sitting in my stand yesterday going through the guidebook, and I'm like, I have no idea.
The app? Were you using the app?
I was using the app, the Michigan DNR app. See, it's good for you. It's a good thing. So, and I was going through it, and I'm scrolling, and that's where I saw the 35 caliber. That's where I saw the how to carry it, how to transport it, blah 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 blah. And there's just a bunch of stuff that's there. But just tell me, do I have to have it? It says for a rifle shotgun hunting deer, you cannot have more than 6 rounds in the gun, including one in the chamber. And they have their own diatribe for spelling that out. And I'm like, okay, that's good. I get that. I knew that. What about a handgun? Do you have to use a wheel gun?
No.
Do they make a like they do for the shotguns? Do they make a plug? And then what is, how do you use the plug? Whoa. But these are the things that as time goes by, and I don't know, we'll be using ray guns probably at some point in the future. We'll be using, you'll just be able to, just like on your phone, you'll be able to and then just put a grid cord in there and just annihilate anything within that 5-foot span. Should it be legal?
Did you hear about the blind kid that got out?
Yeah, I did. There's they got that and the lasers.
He moved the thing, and then the guy said now. Yep. Then the kid pulled. I think that's awesome. At least he got him out in the woods.
Yeah, and they have, they talk about that in hunters with disabilities. They can use lasers and other stuff. But what about the average Joe?
Well, I would imagine it's just a matter of time, because, like everything, if I can use it, why is it only? Why do I have to have a medical note from my doctor for me to be able to use a crossbow? Why can't anybody use a crossbow? What difference does it make? And then all of a sudden, the crossbow is legal for everything. So it's just a matter of time.
So there's our podcast.
How come I can only smoke marijuana if I have a license from my doctor? How come I can't just poof? Oh, well, there you go.
Now you can.
Smoke away. Do whatever you want.
Puff, puff, pass.
Yep. Mushrooms will be next.
Yep.
Little silly sibbins.
No, let us know. Let us know what you think about the whole shenanigan. Let us know what you think. Comment below.
I think part of it is because how old we are, and how when I got into hunting, bow was a bow. I started off with a recurve, was a ute when I was a wee lad, and then once I got to the age where I could hunt, I got a crossbow, which was a hand-me-down. It was a compound bow. It was a hand-me-down. And so I've always shot, you pull the bow back. And I know old guys. I mean, I remember shooting 3D shoots, and I've seen 80-year-old guys pulling back literally like 70-pound bows. Like it was like, he's like, here, try this. And I'm like, bah! It blew out my shoulder. I mean, it's not because you're old that you can't draw back a longbow. It's so if you choose to do it, hey, knock yourself out. But I think crossbows should be for people who can't pull back a bow and kids. That's about it.
All right.
And,
thanks for listening and watching our podcast.
I like our opinions. Everybody's got one.
December 1st, muzzleloader season.
Crack pow.
All the crazies are gone, theoretically. All right. Well, it's December 1st. So it's now the first day of muzzleloader. The old smoke bowl, 50 caliber traditions. I don't have a far shot from here, most direction anyway, so I'll just wait till something saunters in closely, but I've had my trail camera out for 2 days, facing 2 different directions, and haven't gotten anything, so I saw that deer yesterday morning, a little bit further back than I thought, but man, what are you gonna do? So, here we go, raining downstate, nothing up here, supposed to blow through, supposed to be nice tomorrow, maybe Sunday, we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna sit and watch the woods. Wish me luck. Back to camp. All right. Yeah, I don't know what time did I text you? That was what, maybe 4:45, maybe 4:30.
Sounds good.
But yeah, you know, as I looked at it, it was probably the same size as that other one that I saw yesterday morning. So You know, there's a good chance it could have been that one. You know, you always think that you see antlers, and I looked at that deer yesterday morning. I looked at that deer for a bit, trying to look with my binoculars, and I really couldn't see anything. And then, you know, it walks away, and, you know, you're looking in between the ears, and you're like, well, you know, maybe that could have been antlers, but they weren't white. They were, you know, and then it's like, well, that could have just been the dead ferns, and, you know, as it was walking off into the, you know, up the trail. So yeah, could have been the same one. But I'm kind of mad because it didn't, I put my camera over there and I put it on a deer run that I think is the deer run that they're using, and it looks like the one that she came, you know, I saw her come off of that run and then hit the 50-inch trail and then started walking towards me. And I didn't get too excited because I can't shoot that far with the muzzleloader. I think I measured it out. It's probably 85, 90 yards, and you know, there's a lot of cover between me and that deer. You know, we know ultimately that, you know, Jer Bear's stand was set up for bow hunting, so you know, it's not going to have them big 100-yard, 150, 200-yard shots. If I'm going to shoot at a deer, which I'm happy with, if I'm going to shoot at it, it's going to be, you know, 50 yards. And it's going to be something that I can see and focus on, and not like I did last week with trying to take a sniper shot and end up in a bad situation. But anyways, that's it. That's all I did. Just that one deer. I didn't see a thing other than that one.
One more than I saw.
Yeah.
Thought I heard something behind me, but with my hearing, did I not? I don't. Who knows?
Can you pop? Well, no.
Nope.
Anyways, all right. So off we go. Down the road we go. That's our report. December 1st, first day of muzzleloader. Peace be with you, and also with you.